inning. I think he got a little tired there in the fifth. I mean, between early in the season and the temperatures. I mean, what more could we ask from our pitchers? I think we walked 5 on the weekend, maybe hit a couple. So, we didn't give him much, and just a super job there. But good job by the offense kicking into gear there in the middle of the game and put a lot of pressure, strung together some hits amongst some walks. And I mean, we took advantage of 11 walks today. They hadn't walked us, really the first 3 games, but I think, they got a little short on their pitching. And, we did what we needed to do. I'm glad we got the game in. We had a couple more guys we really wanted to throw. I mean, Cole Gibler got to come in and pitch an inning. We would have liked to see Bobby maybe another inning, and maybe had a guy or two down there that we were, Colin Fisher jumps out of me. He was the guy that we really wanted to get an inning. Been throwing the ball pretty good, but he'll get some time here shortly. So it was a really good weekend for us.
You gave Cahillo another start, hit on a home run. Carson Bowles got him a start. He delivered for you. Just what did you think of those 2 guys in particular?
Yeah, it was good to see those guys, come through. They started lefty, only lasted for 2 hitters. And, and I started a couple of right-handers because of that. Just left them in there. And those 2 guys got hits. So that was really good to see. And, just to see Bowles square up a couple of balls, I think three first 3 at bats, he hit the ball hard. And, just had a good outing. Played well in the outfield and cut a ball off in the alley, and had a chance to rest some guys too and get some of our other guys some experience. And, we're going to need them all.
Guys like that, and Kojal's another one that's played well when he's gotten the chance. Does it make it harder on you to figure out how to write up your lineup card?
Yeah, it makes it more difficult, because you want to play the hot guy or the guy that's deserving. Sometimes sometimes you give up some offense for some defense, especially when you have, some really good arms going. So we'll make those decisions. Depends on where you're at. What's the weather like? Is big outfielders, the wind blowing in. I mean, you just have to look at everything. And, but I always tell the guys, man, you got to be able to play some defense. It makes it a lot easier to write your name in the lineup. There's, 1 DH, and a lot of times if you're more of an offensive guy or just not a great defender, the ball's going to find you. And so that's, that'll be our battle a little bit, is continue to get better on the defensive side.
Justin Thomas, I mean, I don't have the number on top of my head, but a lot of walks this weekend. I mean, what would impress you the most about his approach at the plate?
He had a really good weekend, and it was just good to see him, fight some counts and get to 3-2, then take, ball 4, and just like his last at bat. I mean, he's just done a good job, and he got some hits and he scored some runs, stole some bases, just had a really good weekend for us. And he's a guy that he could hit lead off. We see him as a leadoff guy. It's like we have 2 leadoff guys. One hits 1 hole, one hits 9, and I could flip him around, do whatever. But really, really solid weekend.
How encouraging is it too? Like, in the spring, in the buildup, you had your starters on one team and the other guys on another in the spring, and then to this weekend, the offense, kind of the best 2 days are the ones where you kind of change things up. I mean, how encouraging is that, not only for those guys, but just that provides the competition for everyone now, and it's going to keep the competition rolling.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And, I think that, we've told the guys all along, this is the way we started. I mean, the way it's going to be all the time. You got to keep working and earn your position. And it does have some I think the competition amongst the players is good. It's healthy. It's obviously everybody wants to play. We can't play them all, and try to move them in and out of the lineup as best we can. I mean, obviously we'll settle in on something, and it might be a little bit different off a left-handed pitcher, but usually your starters are going to be about 7 of them, and then 2 might flip a little bit with a right or left-handed pitcher. But it's definitely keeps everybody on their toes and everybody working. And I mean, that's what goes on with our pitching staff all the time. I mean, those guys are, competing against each other, and it makes them better when they get on the field competing against somebody else.
You've talked a lot about Cahillo's exit velo, all fall, all spring. Is hitting righties kind of one of the last things that he needs to do before he can maybe work into that role where he's a consistent starter?
Yeah, I think that he hits righties, pretty good, but it's obviously hitting right on right spin is it's a problem for a lot of people, and that's why you see what goes on all the time in college baseball, professional baseball, mix and match a little bit and platooning. But when he was at BYU, he was a pitcher, then he was a DH, and that's pretty much what he did. He's actually runs really well. He's a pretty good athlete. We just got to, for the future, and I'm talking maybe more towards next year, he's got to become a good outfielder. So he has a position. So it's not just a DH situation.
I think Washington State bunted like 4 times their first time through the order. Do you think that was just a matter of them trying to figure out a way to scratch a run across? Was there a scouting report thing, or what do you think happened?
Yeah, well, they're good at it, and we knew they were good at it. And that their leadoff man left on left brought one with him, and we were telling our guys what was going to happen. I think Cam made a really nice play. We cheated him up and over. I think he hesitated just a touch. We thought he was out, but I guess he wasn't. The umpire did, and then they changed it. And then the 2 holes, a good bunter. You're trying to push bunt off the lefty, and he pushed it really hard. And then, the 9-hole hitter, that's what he does. I mean, the kid last year in JUCO ball, I think, stole 50 bases. And I think, Ryder threw him out today. Perfect throw. And, speaking of catchers, their catcher is as good as we'll see all year. Honestly, that kid could really block, receive, and his throwing, his release is about as good as it gets. And we still stole some bases, and we're going to keep doing it. He threw us out a couple times on bang bang plays, but yeah, they play the small game. And the 9-0 guy, he showed bunt like every at bat except one, I think, and that's what he does. They're trying to get him to bunt, get on, maybe steal a base, but I thought we defended it fairly well.
That's maybe something we need to ask you later in the week, but She's throwing today. Does that maybe make him a candidate to move to the bullpen for this weekend, or are you still kind of deciding on that?
Yeah, we haven't figured that one out yet. I mean, we only play 3 games. We start 3 games next week, and so we'll just have 3 starters. But I thought all 4 of our starters, threw well. And like I said, in 4 games, we got 20 innings from our starters, 5 by each one, and kept them all under 80 pitches, 70 in some cases. And who knows how it's going to end up? It's just beginning of the year, but they all did a great job.
You ever seen a 3-4-3 put out and then a 3-4-1 at first base in the same game?
Yeah, it's the more games you see, the crazier it gets. You say I've never seen that before, or I can't remember the last time I saw that one. But yeah, it was an interesting play.
What do you know about this team now that maybe you didn't know before the series?
It's kind of what I've seen throughout the fall and the spring, really. I wouldn't say that I learned a whole lot. You just get to see somebody out there competing against another team when it matters, and sometimes you see guys that really step it up. And but we feel like we've got a lot of guys that are gamer type guys. But what really jumped out at me was Thomas's at bats were really good. He got his hits, he took his walks, and could flip him to the top of the order if we needed to. But I like it. That's a threat down there.
Against Washington State's second pitcher, does it make it more difficult when you don't have someone like that on your own staff with that arm angle that you haven't seen all fall?
Yeah, the side armor, and we knew he was coming in there, and he's not overpowering. But I had all my right-handed hitters in there pretty much, and I thought about putting lefties in there quick, and I thought, well, I'm gonna let these guys go through it one more time, and I think they got him a little bit, got his pitch count up, and but yeah, we've had some of those guys in the past. We don't have one right now. That's probably about all we don't have right now, honestly, is a submariner.
Just you mentioned the lack of walks in your opening statement from the pitchers. I mean, I know that's an emphasis for any pitching staff, but is it a little extra given like last year, it felt like the walks at the end of the year started kind of creeping up a little bit? Just how encouraging is it right now, first weekend, the guys have their control where you?
Yeah, it's all 4 of our starters are strike throwers this weekend, and a lot of the guys come out of the pen, they throw it over the plate as well. And that's what you have to do. I mean, even guys that are high velocity guys have been throwing it over the plate. And, we had a freshman come in throwing the ball upper 90s over the plate. We had a sophomore closer come in, throw the ball over the plate, same velocity. It's, if you make them earn it throughout the season, it just makes it a lot better. And, that's one thing that I think that we do here is we throw the ball over the plate. Last year we did fade a little bit. And, but the guys that were walking people last year at the end of the year, they walked guys in the fall. We did the previous fall. We didn't see that this fall from our guys. They threw strikes and they got better.
Good. All right, go.
All right.
Down.